Ja, dan gaan we van de sport naar het interview met Yilmaz. Nieuwsuur heeft namelijk voor het eerst een Nederlandse jihadist uitgebreid kunnen interviewen en filmen. Yilmaz, een oud beroepsmilitair die nu zelf in Syrië vecht en andere jihadstrijders traint en opleidt. In Syrië zijn naar schatting 120 Nederlandse jihadstrijders die vechten tegen het regime van Assad en voor een islamitische staat. Er is weinig over ze bekend. Ze zijn in het geheim vertrokken en laten bij terugkeer nauwelijks iets los.
Dit is een naamplaatje wat hij in het Nederlandse leger droeg, wat hij aan ons als cadeau meegegeven heeft.
Nieuwsuur buitenlandredacteur Roesbek Kabodi ontdekt Yilmaz ongeveer 8 maanden geleden. Als hij op internet zoekt naar sporen van Nederlandse jihadisten.
Ik heb in het Arabisch een aantal termen gezocht. En op een gegeven moment heb ik een van zijn foto's gevonden. Hij staat in zijn Nederlandse uniform in Syrië naast een paar rebellen. En hij ziet eruit als een commando bijna. Ik zag meteen Nederlandse uniform, baret. Een jongen die heel erg gedisciplineerd en goed getraind eruit ziet.
Was het makkelijk om zijn vertrouwen te winnen?
Nee. In het begin was hij heel erg achterdochtig, heel erg terughoudend. Hij ontkende zelfs dat hij een Nederlander was. Maar ik heb hem duidelijk gemaakt dat wij objectieve journalisten zijn die hem en mensen zoals hem beter willen begrijpen. En langzamerhand kon hij mij vertrouwen.
Hoe lang heeft dat geduurd?
8 maanden. Ik heb hem elke dag gesproken.
Het is voor de eerste keer dat een Nederlandse jihadstrijder zich in Syrië laat filmen.
Hoe is het?
Het interview is in het Engels afgenomen door een contactpersoon in Syrië.
Ik zou heel graag willen dat jullie mij ook zouden kunnen zien, maar wij hebben een Syrische verbinding hier. Dus dat werkt niet.
Syrië is op dit moment niet veilig voor journalisten. Journalisten zijn doelwitten van extremistische strijdgroepen. En ze worden ontvoerd, geëxecuteerd ter plekke. Daarom hebben wij het interview door een tussenpersoon laten doen die onze vragen aan hem heeft gesteld.
Waarom geeft hij het interview?
Hij wilde het beeld rechtzetten die in Nederland ontstaan is over Nederlandse strijders in Syrië. Dat zij gevaarlijke gekken zijn en dat zij allemaal geleerd zijn aan Al-Qaeda. Daarom heeft hij het gedaan.
There's a Dutch saying, and it goes, kijk verder dan je neus lang is. And what it means is, look a little bit further than what people show you, or what people try to show you. Try to investigate for yourself. Open your heart, open your eyes to what's going on over here. And inshallah, maybe you'll change your mind and you see that many of the people here came here for the right reasons. You can't just be watching how hundreds and thousands of people are getting slaughtered. And you're just... I feel sorry for the people back home. That's my honest opinion. How can you be sitting at home?
Yilmaz lijkt een gewone jongen, een Nederlander van Turkse komaf die het liefst commando was geworden. Hij deed zijn militaire dienstplicht in Turkije en was daarna beroepssoldaat in het Nederlandse leger. Maar Syrië trok aan hem. Hij besloot zijn kennis als soldaat daar in de praktijk te brengen. Het verslag is van Jan Eikelboom en Roesbek Kaboli.
In Syrië gaat hij gekleed in zijn Nederlandse legeruniform, inclusief baret. Alleen de emblemen zijn vervangen. Yilmaz was beroepsmilitair bij de Koninklijke Landmacht.
In the Dutch military, soldaat tweede klas, a soldier second class. Maybe a month or 2 months before I was being promoted, I decided to leave. Right knee, you can either sit on your knee or hold it up like this is no problem. Your elbow is resting on your knee, or on your left knee. Your left elbow is resting on your left knee. Your right knee is on the floor. If you want a little bit more support, you could turn your leg in.
De kennis uit het Nederlandse leger gebruikt hij nu in Syrië om jihadisten op te leiden. Hij geeft er schietoefeningen.
Relax. Most of the people here, I think maybe over 90% of the people here have never ever even fired a bullet in their lives, let alone participate in an actual battlefield or whatsoever. So what we're doing right now, and the purpose of all this is, I was approached by a brother that I love and that I respect, and because he knows my background, he asked me, could you give some of my fighters some extra tips and tools? We'll supply the bullets, we'll supply everything you need, so that when we ship them out, and when there's a firefight, and when there's contact, they know what they're doing. Okay. Okay, right, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I could see all of the hits. Yeah, I told you it was 5, Akhi. I knew it.
5, huh?
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, it was 5. Look, Akhi, your gun is moving too much.
Give me your gun.
To the
behind it.
left and the right.
Yeah.
And he was too fast. He wasn't taking his time. Relax. You'll see that if you relax, if you take your time, maybe a second or 2 seconds longer, you'll be in this area. The purpose behind it is, first and foremost, the question you should ask is, what is their purpose being here? And their purpose being here is fighting fi sabilillah for the oppressed Syrian people. It's been 2.5, almost 3 years now, and nobody's doing anything. These people came here with a noble cause, a purpose of helping the Syrian people.
If what they're doing is something good and something noble, why do they have their faces covered?
These brothers cover their faces purely for security reasons. They would love to show their faces. They would love to show their faces and tell the world why they're here and what they're doing. But if they would, it would have huge consequences back home. For example, myself, the police has been to my house a couple of times. When they want to travel, they get questioned. My sisters at school, people say, your brother's this, your brother's that. So these people, they don't want to look scary, they don't want to terrorize people or whatsoever. The only reason why they're covering their faces is because they love their families back home and they want them to live their lives in peace, and they don't want any negative consequences upon the family of them being here. Yalla, 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 yalla! Fire! Hold fire! Hold fire! My gun jammed. No problem.
People back in Holland
No.
might say, some of them might say, you've betrayed us because you've learned these skills from us, and now you're teaching these people. For someone to say something like that, how would you respond to them?
If the Dutch forces, would send a unit or fighters to Syria to help the oppressed people, I would be the first one to sign up for the Dutch army. But nobody's doing anything. So why, when people want to do something to help these people and to make a change, is it a problem? Or am I a traitor? I mean, it makes no sense to me, wallahi.
Do you have any inclinations towards doing any sorts of attacks inside of Holland?
No. I never, no. I came to Syria for Syria only. I didn't come to Syria to learn how to make bombs or this or that and to go back. That's not the mentality many of these fighters here have. We came here, basically, and I know it sounds harsh, but many of the brothers here, including myself, we came here to die, akhi. So us going back is not part of our perspective here. I mean, it's a big sacrifice, and there's a lot of work to be done. So why should I even think about Holland or Europe? It's a closed chapter for me. Who is it?
Yilmaz heeft niet alle banden met Nederland verbroken.
Gaat goed?
Via Skype heeft hij contact met het thuisfront.
Ja. Af en toe hapert het een beetje, man, geluid.
Nou.
Ik zie jou nog steeds niet, man. Ik dacht, ik ga die bar daar van je zien, maar weinig dus.
Vergeet het. Connectie. Nou, connectie is te slecht hier. Connectie. Je zit in de keuken. Of niet?
Je weet waar ik zit toch, daar
Ja, je zit niet. Waar zijn je moeder? Waar is je moeder? Waar is tante? Ja, haal ze maar, haal ze maar. Haal ze maar.
Lang geleden hoor.
Ja, tantes.
Kunnen zien, man.
Ik zou heel graag willen dat jullie mij ook zouden kunnen zien, maar wij hebben een Syrische verbinding hier. Dus dat werkt niet.
Dus gewoon geen Ziggo dus, geen Ziggo
Nou,
daar zo.
we hebben dingen nodig, Ziggo nodig hier. Stuur oom hierheen. Ziggo.
What do you miss from Holland?
Kapsalon. It's a Turkish, like this Turkish guy just invented this strange fast food dish. Kapsalon now. My family, of course. It's a very organized country. Everything's very organized. I would like to see that back in an Islamic country, inshallah, one day. It's the family, I think. Uit Nederland, party pack. Ja, 2 kilo, 2 kilo. 2 kilo, alhamdulillah. Het zijn die kleine dingetjes toch, het zijn die kleine dingetjes.
It's a serious question, but it's on the hearts and minds of a lot of people.
Are you married?
No, that might be on some people's minds, but are you a part of Al-Qaeda, and if you are, why?
SubhanAllah, I was, to be honest, I thought that was going to be one of the first questions you would ask me, but I was waiting for this question. What people should understand, and wallahi, is that not everybody that comes from Europe or wherever they come from, be it Asia, Europe, or America, Canada, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean per definition that these people automatically, as soon as they cross the border, that they're part of Al-Qaeda. A lot of people think he left his house because he's radicalized. He left his house because he's disturbed. He left his house because he's emotional, etc. These are standard things that the media try to feed the people. One of these things that they try to do is whoever comes to Syria as a foreigner is by definition Al-Qaeda. In my case, there's no such thing. The brothers of Al-Qaeda, they're here, they're fighting. It's known, everybody knows this. But me being here in Syria fighting does not mean per definition that I'm part of Al-Qaeda. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I think the main goal of many of the people here, even including the Syrians themselves, is protecting and defending the innocent people of Syria. I mean, it's been almost 3 years now. Enough is enough. When is it going to end? When I speak to the people, they smile, but at the same time they're asking me, when is this going to end? When can we go back home? So that being the first and the most important objective is getting these people back home, okay? Second of all, and also very important for most of the fighters here, is Islamic law. We want the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be uppermost. We ourselves came from the West. We understand the systems of the West. We've seen with our own eyes what the West is doing in crisis situations like this. We don't want this anymore. An Islamic state built upon Islamic principles will always defend the rights of the innocent and of the people living in its borders. So this is what we want. Bismillah.
What about the guy with the sheep?
Huh?
You hold a grudge against the people of Holland. And some of them are afraid that one day, you yourself, you know, you've had the training from the military, you've had the training from being in jihad, that they just might be afraid that you might come back one day. I mean, what would you say to those people?
SubhanAllah, knowing Holland, they should be worried about other things, with criminals and pedophiles roaming the streets. But I understand their fear, Yani. It's not that I'm I have a wall and I don't understand why these people are afraid. Don't worry about me. I've chosen this path for myself. And even if I would come back, I would just eat kapsalon and maybe some sushi, have some Dr. Pepper, just give my mother a big warm hug, sit with the family. I'm not out there, or I'm not out there. I've never been a violent person towards people that are not violent towards me. Not